What do you think is the link between developed countries and developing countries? Today, there is a serious gap in the quality of life of the people in developed countries and developing countries. I was so curious about them, what makes them linked. I defined the main reason as economic inequality. Let me introduce you how serious it is. While we live on the benefits of cutting-edge technologies such as smartphones, people in developing countries are threatened with survival, such as food, sanitation, and much more. In fact, these problems are not confined to modern days. Humans have fought against hunger and violence since ancient times. Humans have fought against this pitiful inequality. International society also have tried to solve this problem. They spent huge money and time, but it wasn't easy to solve. Rather, it is getting worse. Why couldn't we solve this problem in spite of all these efforts? Democratic Republic of the Congo is going through civil war because of coltan. The people in Côte d'Ivoire suffers under starvation, although it is the country that produces the most cacao in the world. Also, mangrove forest residents must destroy their basic site of living only to breed shrimps. There are much more cases like this in the world. A common thing in all developing nations is that they have enough ability or resources to be self-sufficient. Currently, multinational corporations make this economic gap widen. But it is important to recognize that multinational corporations should be the one to solve it again. On the other side, the corporations are trying to make change in their management ways. It is because we face many social problems such as environmental problems, economic inequality, and so on in the neoliberalism society. One of these changes is ESG, which is short for environmental, social, and corporate governance. Since many social problems appear, the corporations have been required to take some responsibility. There are many terms like CSR, Corporation Social Responsibility, and SRI, Social Responsibility Investment. But unlike these two that are just at the level, ESG is the factor that is important for solving this problem. Worldwide big investor requires them to practice ESG. So, what is ESG? E stands for environmental. Many corporations who practice ESG try to reduce carbon emissions. S stands for social. It emphasizes cooperation to maintain diversity, fairness, and inclusiveness. G stands for corporate governance. It emphasizes transparent management. Unlike CSR and SRI, I think ESG is much more worthwhile because corporations try to practice it with specific plans. It means that every stakeholders are interested in it. But I think there is a problem. Currently, there isn't any plan in ESG related to solving international social problems. So I today just want to suggest ESG to link developed countries and developing countries. S of ESG emphasizes only inner corporation social responsibility, but I wanted to expand for solving international social problems. One way to do this is to use appropriate technology. I want corporations to develop technologies not only for the people in developed countries, but also for the people in developing countries. Although the inequality is getting worse, I believe appropriate technology can act as a key factor to solve this problem. Appropriate technology is the simplest technology that can improve the quality of life considering environmental, social, and cultural aspects of the community. A live straw that purifies enough a year's drinking water is one example of appropriate technology. It purifies all kinds of bacteria and insect-infested water. It protects people from disease in areas where clean water is not available. However, because developing countries are not available to buy such technology, multinational corporations should activate appropriate technology through expanded ESG. That means we can link developing countries and developed countries. It is because it gives developing countries opportunities to grow socially and economically by solving their problem of life and death, as well as to enhance their corporate image. Then, what can we do for corporations to practice this work? Corporations ultimately pursue profits as the highest priority. So we, as consumers and investors who can decide the profits of corporation, should pay keen attention to it. Our role is essential. If we are interested in the business which can help to link developed countries and developing countries, multinational corporations will make specific plans to practice this. In addition, we should always play a role in monitoring companies, whether they are linking them well or not. This is because if consumers are not interested in this work, the corporations will lose their motivation to implement it. So I think the link between developed countries and developing countries is social responsibility for both companies and the society, especially in these days when the economic gap is widening. As one of the methods, I would once again like to state the importance of expanded ESG and appropriate technology. Thank you.